All right. Good morning, everyone. I am Teresa Cochran, and I'm the garage underwriter and also a commercial package underwriter here at CID. And I'm going to be going through the Accord 125 and 126 with you. Jacob listed some of the sections on each of the two Accord forms, and we will be hitting most of those sections today. All right, so right now we're looking at the Accord 125. And yeah, there's a lot of boxes on here. But guess what? We don't have to fill them all in. So I'm going to fill in the boxes I'm looking for when I'm looking through a submission from all of you. And the example we're going to be filling out in a Accord application for a clothing store today. All right. So we're going to put in the date, and bear with me as I type through these different sections here. I already have some agency information in this box. Over here, you're going to let me know what coverages we're going to be quoting. So we're going to be doing property. Where is that? General liability right here. And we're also going to be doing an umbrella. Status of transaction is going to be quote. We're looking for a quote today. The proposed effective date is today. So you guys aren't giving me a lot of time to quote this, but we're going to use today as the effective date. The name of the insured. We're going to use Fashion Store Inc. and their DBA, if I can spell, is going to be Fashion Spot. And mailing address, keep it nice and simple. And it's Fashion Store Inc. So their form of business is a corporation. I'm not going to worry about any ID numbers. Date of business, that little box over here is overlooked quite often, but it is very important to us as an underwriter to see what experience they have. We're going to say they started 2 years ago. The inspection contact is going to be the owner of the corporation, and we're going to call her Mary Smith. And her phone number looks good to me. The accounting record, it's going to be the same person as the inspection contact, so not going to worry about completing that part. All right, location 1, building 1. It's going to be the same address as the mailing, so I'm going to copy and paste that information over here. We're in San Diego. We're inside a city limit. The corporation is the owner of the building, so I'm going to click on owner. The year built of the building is 1980, and this clothing store occupies 100% of the building. This box right here is very important. It helps us to understand what risk we are quoting. So the nature of the business, well, it's a retail clothing store. Oh my goodness. And I'm also going to put that it's an owner-occupied building. Okay. General information. These little boxes down here, I did answer the questions. So, take your time, read through the questions. This is the only, usually they're going to be answered all no. But today I answered this one yes. I am saying that this clothing store, their policy has either been declined, canceled, or non-renewed. And right here in the remarks section, I'm going to put that coverage was non-renewed due to carrier no longer writing this type of business. Okay? So it's at no fault to the insured, but the carrier is just no longer writing clothing stores. And now we're going to go down to page 2 of the Accord 125, where you're going to put in all the lovely information about what carriers they've been with since 2019 when they started the business. We're just going to say that they've been with Farmers. And their policy number is right there. Their policy dates. And it's the same for the property. So we're going to scroll down here. And I'm just going to copy and paste these dates. So they've been fully covered by farmers the entire time they've been in business. But farmers is getting off of it, so we're looking for a new home. And honestly, this is really all I'm looking for on the second page with the prior carrier information. All right, any losses? No, they haven't had any losses. I'm gonna click this little box here. And guess what, we're done with the 125. Now we're on to the 126, which is all about general liability. So down at the top, put our date in here. Fashion Store Inc. The effective date is also today. Not going to worry about the payment plans because the carriers we use, some of them are direct bill, some are agency bill. So I'm just going to leave this blank because sometimes you don't have a choice. So we're going to move on from there. We have, they want the general liability. It's a clothing store, so it's going to be per occurrence. Claims made is usually your professional liability, your professional types of risks. I have standard 1 million, 2 million general liability limits listed out here. Schedule of hazards. This is where we're going to go over all the liability exposures. All right, so location 1, we got a retail clothing store. Put that in. That's the classification of the risk. Don't worry about class codes. Some carriers use ISO codes. Some carriers use their own codes. Feel free to leave that blank. Premium basis. Clothing store, sales. That's going to be your main exposure here. We're going to say it's about $200,000 a year. What other exposures can we go over? Maybe a square footage. Who knows? Maybe some carriers rate on square footage. So we're going to put 1,000 square feet here. And I'm going to include payroll as well. These are going to be your 3 main premium bases that you're going to be inputting on these on the Accord 125. Okay, so I got all those inputted. Let's see. This is not a claims made type of policy. Again, that's typically for a professional type of risk. We're not asking for any employee benefits liability. Not a contractor. And the product's completed operations, that's really going to be for a manufacturing type of risk. So we don't have to complete these answers either. All right, additional insured. Yes, we're going to say that they do have an additional insured. They have a mortgagee. They own the building. They have a loan on the building. So we want to make sure the mortgagee is included. Okay, that's for location 1, building 1. And we're going to say this is the mortgage company. And here's some general information. Again, I check marked them. They're typically always going to be no, but make sure you read them, you get familiar with the questions. And guess what? That's it. So not too bad, not too many boxes you have to fill in. Now we're going to go into the property section, and my coworker, Michelle Belden, is going to go through that with you.